Hi, I'm Vijay. I'm VP Cloud Engineering for Manthan. Manthan is one of the global leaders in the retail and CPG analytics space. We have customers across about 20 countries around the world. The business challenge is what we internally in Manthan call is switch-on analytics. The ability to go into a retailer and empower him with very powerful insights within a matter of a day. So the need for us was to basically provision faster, provision on demand, provision with agility in terms of compute power, servers, technologies, storage technologies, data warehouse technologies in a matter of few hours. The other aspect and the other big driver for us to move to the cloud and move to AWS, so to speak, was to break the barrier of ownership in terms of having very powerful, very intuitive, very insightful analytics, which probably were not affordable at that point in time for a retailer. And the fact that we could leverage a SaaS-based licensing model and be on the cloud with the agility that switch-on brings. Security was one key concern that we probably put there as probably the first checkbox for a selection of any cloud platform. AWS per se, kind of helped us get down and made that decision a lot more easy for us. Availability of data centers and data locations and services across these data centers was again a paramount need. And that's primarily one of 3 or maybe 2 key identifiers that actually brought us to AWS. AWS Redshift has driven a lot of checkboxes for us in terms of cost of deploying a DWH at the scale at which we deploy, processing strengths in terms of if you really boil it down to technical aspects of running complex distinct queries, for example, AWS Redshift has really helped us in those use case scenarios. Apart from the fact that we also in the process, or we also made this transition partly to having our analytical workloads run on top of AWS EMR or Hadoop-based structures with NoSQL as a substitute to traditional DBMS or RDBMS databases. A large part of Amazon services around analytics is what we really concentrate on right now at this point in time. To call out a few, Kinesis, AWS EMR. We basically have built a lot of connectors of our own and a lot of specialization on the way we retrieve and pull and store data into S3. The fact that we have been able to translate a legacy, extremely stable, extremely sophisticated BI analytical platform onto the cloud is largely because of the flexibility that AWS allows us from an architectural perspective. The other part is I think we have reduced our deployment times. We have brought it down to from about 3 weeks to about a day in which the user gets the first view into data and analytics. We have driven cost of ownerships by 3x. If you have to deploy on-prem behind a cloud, the provisioning of hardware, compute instances, storage, etc., and not to speak of the management that you have to throw on that, has bringing deployment costs down. So by 3x from our traditional on-prem deployments. This is another big driver that AWS has bought. And the other thing is the agility in which we can leverage new technology as it emerges, test it, in R&D, and then very quickly deploy it for live use cases. It gives us a lot of agility in our innovation and drive our own customer values. That's I think the third aspect which has really helped us provision and drive higher customer values with lower cost prices and higher performance metrics.